The kitchen that we're working on is really a pretty standard kind of kitchen. Now, from the first time I saw it, there was one thing that really bothered me, and that is there's just not a lot of drawer storage. Drawer storage is just a significant upgrade over a shelf, especially when you get down the base cabinet where you got to get down and reach way in there to get to anything. The second thing that bothered me is pretty much all the openings were narrow openings. So even the drawers that are here, none of them are wide enough really to provide proper storage for silverware. So what I want to do here is turn this 2 doors and 2 drawers into a wide drawer stack. I want to have some really nice wide drawers down here in the bottom that you could even store pots and pans in. Now, in order to do that, I've got to get rid of this middle stile. And that could be kind of a challenging process when you first think about it, but I'm going to use a recip saw and a couple little tips that I've learned over the years. And when I get done, I think you're going to figure out that it's really not that challenging. Now, the one thing I will need to do is I'll need to add a rail down here so that I'll get back to having 2 openings for drawers. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to just use these pocket holes, and I'll be able to clamp this piece in place with some glue on the end, drive some screws through, and I'm going to get a great joint right there in the middle. Really don't know any other way that you could do this except for using pocket screws. The final thing I'm going to need to do when I get these pieces out of the way is cut this shelf out so that it's not in the way of everything else that's going on. But the first thing I want to do is take my recip saw and start to cut these pieces out. Now this piece stays, so I'm going to just cut pretty close here and here, and then hopefully I'll be able to just take a chisel and kind of clean it up. If not, I'm going to use another tool. Okay, well, I'm liking the way this is going so far. I'm just going to do the same thing down here, and none of that's really going to be seen once we put the drawers in. So I think so far we're still good. That seems to be plain strong. So I'm going to go after this piece down here. Okay, it's just like it was never there. So now all I'm going to do is add this rail. And the secret is when you cut a little piece of wood like that with a chisel, it's always going to just split. So as long as you get it cut within like maybe a ½ an inch, you can just get it to split out. If I just cut that in the middle or something, it probably would have torn out a lot. But by cutting it just like real short, then I can go ahead and split it out. Now, actually, since I don't have anything in my way, I'm going to go ahead and cut this back shelf out right now. I want to cut as close as I can with the recip saw, and I may finish up with this multi-tool. So I need to get this pretty close to center, probably at least within 1/16 of an inch. What I want to do is set it down here. I want to measure this space, which says it's 20.5. So I can do that math pretty easy. I need to come up 10.25 inches. And actually, I think what I'm going to do, which would make it really easy, is I'm just going to go cut a couple blocks of wood that are 10.25 and sit them in there. That way I can just sit this down right on top of it and it'll be really easy. Just going to add a little bit of glue on the end here. Sit right on top of my blocks. And the only thing I'm seeing here is there's a screw right here, but we're going to hope we miss that screw. It won't take long to tell. don't have to worry about any of that stuff because we're going to be painting this. One pair of screws in. So now we've got 3 really nice sized drawer openings. I'm going to take some measurements and go build the drawers. I've got this last drawer fitting exactly the way I want it to, and I'm so glad that we went to the extra effort to build these drawers in here. You know, we had 2 small doors and 2 small drawers that really weren't good for much of anything. Now we've got these wonderful deep drawers that you could put just about anything in, and a really nice drawer up here for silverware. It's so much easier to access things when you've got a drawer because everything comes out and you can see exactly what's in the drawer instead of having to get on your hands in these and look in the back. This is just a whole lot better deal. And it seems like we've got a lot more space too because we lost this middle stile. Really, when it comes down to it, I think the hardest part of the whole deal was just getting that stupid shelf out of there. I'm really glad we went to the extra effort.